Now on CoastTV News.
SIP shipments to start, the big change for Delaware consumers and vineyards set to take place later today. Travel price hike, what you need to know now that Delaware has increased the price of its tolls across the state.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Happening now, tolls on three big Delaware highways, I-95, Route 1, and Route 301 are increasing tolls for the first time in more than a decade. Toll hikes will affect both in-state and out-of-state drivers, with the steepest increases for cash users and out-of-state Easy Pass holders. On Route 1, Delaware Easy Pass users will pay $1.50 on weekdays and $4 on weekends, while out-of-state Easy Pass holders and cash users will pay nearly double. DelDOT says rising costs from ongoing projects make the increase necessary to pay for infrastructure improvements.
We expect to see about $40 million realized in new toll revenue with these increases that are going into effect on Friday. And again, that's really to support our efforts to continue improving in the infrastructure across our state.
DelDOT says another change is also going into effect now. Drivers using Easy Pass lanes without a pass or cash will now get a bill for the toll instead of a violation. DelDOT is offering some relief to this change, though. They are offering a free Easy Pass transponder through August 31st when you open a new Easy Pass Delaware account. New this morning, former President Joe Biden released a statement remembering former Delaware Governor and longtime Congressman Mike Castle, who passed away on Thursday at the age of 86. Biden said in part, quote, "Mike will go down in history of our state and country as an honorable and effective public servant, a man of his word who time and again put country over self." Castle remains the last Republican elected governor in Delaware. Happening today, Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen is in Ocean City to take part in the Maryland Association of Counties Conference. He is scheduled to speak at a fireside chat hosted by the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Ocean City Chamber of Commerce. The discussion will focus on boosting economic growth across the Eastern Shore. Senator Angela Also Brooks was scheduled to take part as well, but her office announced she tested positive for COVID-19 and is no longer attending. Maryland Governor Wes Moore will attend that event on Saturday. On Saturday, Moore is set to deliver the closing address that is scheduled for 11:15 at the Roland Powell Convention Center. Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan is hinting at a future run, posting on his Facebook. You can see this post on your screen right now, saying, quote, "Slightly used 2024 RV, only 15,000 all Maryland miles, never slept in, could make a good deal, or I guess we could always rewrap it and get back on the road again, question mark." Last year, Larry Hogan ran for the U.S. Senate but lost in November to Angela Also Brooks. We are now taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach. See a lot of beach umbrellas out there and people on the boardwalk. We're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey. Bob, it is looking like a beautiful Friday.
Absolutely, Elisa, and that beach is busy, and we get a little break from the intense heat and humidity today as we're warming in the low to mid 80s right now away from the coast. 83 in Georgetown, Millsboro, you're at 82, 80 in Ocean Pines, cooler 79 in Rehoboth right now, as dew points are still pretty high in the low to mid 70s, but they'll start to drop into the afternoon and become a little more comfortable, as feels like temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s, even feels like 97 right now in Seaford, 93 in Milton, with feels like temperatures at the coast in the low to mid 80s. We're looking at an easterly breeze right now at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that will keep you a little cooler at the coast. Visible satellite pictures showing some cumulus clouds across southern Delaware down towards Maryland right now, but farther to the north we're looking at a lot of sunshine as our flow is coming in out of the east now. We have a front that continues to push to the southeast. Ahead of that, we had quite a bit in the way of rain yesterday, but behind it, we're looking at a northeasterly flow, which is cooler and a little drier with high pressure building in from the west. Here's Futurecast by noon. We're in the mid to upper 80s inland, a little cooler at the beaches with that easterly flow, 75 in Dewey Beach to 78 in Ocean City and Fenwick Island. And then we're looking at lots of sunshine around the 2 o'clock hour, 80s to around 90 inland areas, mid to upper 70s at the coast, and then a few more clouds as we go into the afternoon, maybe a spotty shower, but looking pretty good, pretty comfortable right into the evening hours. But feels like temperatures this afternoon afternoon, back into the mid-90s, feeling like mid to upper 80s at the beaches. Here's your day part forecast. We continue with the east wind today and temperatures into the mid to upper 80s and looking pretty comfortable as we go into the evening hours. Our weather headed into the weekend looking really nice, and Aaron is now a hurricane in the Atlantic. I'll tell you how that affects us as we go into next week in my forecast coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. Delaware winemakers and consumers will soon be getting a taste of long-awaited change. Governor Matt Meyer is expected to sign House Bill 187 this afternoon. The law would allow licensed producers to ship limited quantities of wine directly to consumers' homes with age checks and delivery safeguards. This would make Delaware the 49th state to allow direct wine shipment. Local wineries say it's a business boost and a big step forward after a decade-long push in the first state.
The state's going to get more money in their coffers. The Delaware residents win because now they can get their favorite wine shipped to their house. And we, as small wineries in the state of Delaware, we win too.
According to Governor Meyer's office, he is scheduled to sign House Bill 187 at 3:30 p.m. at Harvest Ridge Winery in Marydale. This afternoon, we should learn more about Rehoboth Beach's plans for the sale of a property on Lake Girard. Under consideration is 1,400 square feet. A Virginia Avenue property owner is looking to buy it. The value is reported at $540,000. Today's public hearing in City Hall is scheduled for 2 o'clock. Coming up after the break, Dewey's stormwater solution, what the town council there could approve later today in addressing flooding issues. Flood mitigation in Dewey Beach getting a much-needed upgrade. According to the agenda for today's town council meeting, officials will discuss and could approve a pump station project on Reed Avenue. This comes after Dewey Beach received a federal grant to build the facility. It's all in an effort to control flooding. If approved, the new $1 million pump would be built on Reed Avenue, one of the heaviest flooded streets. A little over a year ago, Dewey Beach Town Manager Bill Zolper said it had become a big problem, even spreading as far as Dewey's major roadway, Route 1, and he hopes this will be a big help.
During high tides and major nor'easters, it crosses Route 1 with the water, shuts Route 1 down, and then everybody has to go down 24 to 26 to get to Bethany Beach.
And Zolper estimates it will take about 1.5 to 2 years for people to see the new pump station. And coming up tonight on DSN at 7 o'clock, it's the 2025 ZAP Pro-Am skimboarding competition. Then it's the final score at 10:30. And on the DSN Plus app at 6 o'clock, it's high school football as the Isle of Wight Academy takes on Arcadia.
A live look into Lewis showing a beautiful Friday. Boats are coming into Roosevelt Inlet. 85, lots of sunshine, a little drier today, but still on the warm side. And we're looking at the nice weather continuing right into the upcoming weekend. Congratulations to Mike Palmer from Millsboro. He is the proud owner of a new umbrella from CoastTV, and Paul Davis. Coming up, more on your weekend forecast and the latest on now Hurricane Aaron and how it will affect us next week. Your forecast is coming up after the break. The weekend is just about here and the weather is looking beautiful to end the week. We're seeing blue skies, some clouds. In Laurel right now, 83, still a little bit on the muggy side, but I think the humidity levels will start to drop into the afternoon, but still pretty warm with mid to upper 80s as we go into the afternoon. A little cooler for the beaches, a good looking Friday with sun and clouds, seasonable conditions. We do have an onshore flow keeping you a little cooler at the beaches and maybe an outside chance of an isolated shower, but that's it. And then for the weekend, looking at sunshine, beautiful, low to mid 80s Saturday, hotter Sunday with upper 80s to right around 90 degrees and a little more humidity as well. Temperatures right now, low to mid 80s out there, 83 in Georgetown, Millsboro, 84, Ocean City, 80, 81 in Bethany Beach, and Salisbury checking in with 82 degrees. Dew point temperatures still a little bit on the high side. They're into the 70s, so it's still a little sticky, but I think things will start to dry out as we go into the afternoon. It feels like temperatures temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 in Laurel right now. Feels like 90 in Millsboro and Long Neck, and feeling like low to mid 80s at the coast right now as our flow has turned in out of the east. So that will keep you a little cooler at the beaches today, and those temperatures a little cooler inland areas as well, but still on the warm side. Here's a visible satellite picture. Seeing some cumulus clouds popping up from the eastern shore into Salisbury, Ocean City, and Point South. Farther to the north, just lots of sunshine as we have high pressure building in from southeast Canada. We're in a northeasterly flow, which is a little cooler and a little drier, and a cold front continues to move to the southeast. That was a front that was responsible for some pretty heavy rain yesterday, and now all that moisture is suppressed to the south, seeing some showers off the Carolina coast right now. And then farther to the west, looking at quiet high pressure and nice weather across the Ohio Valley, and that will be heading in as we go into this weekend, looking pretty good at that time. Here's Futurecast at noon, mid to upper 80s inland areas, cooler 70s at the beaches. And then by mid-afternoon, I think we will start to increase the clouds. We'll call it sun and clouds, and temperatures in the 80s, but cooler 70s at the coast. If you're headed out this evening, looking good, except I think we will see some low clouds and fog developing overnight with an easterly flow, and it keeps us a little milder Saturday morning with temperatures in the 70s, but by the afternoon looking really nice. Low to mid 80s inland, 70s at the coast, and we could see another round of fog as we go into Sunday morning with temperatures into the mid to upper 60s. And then we go into Sunday afternoon and a little warmer and a little muggier too, with 80s to around 90 inland and 70s at the coast. Our muggy meter, we're starting to dry things out a little bit, I think, Saturday into early Sunday, and then another spike into the very humid range, miserable range on Monday, and then it does start to dry out after that. Feels like temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 90s, 80s at the coast with 80s and lower 90s. Feels like temperatures into Saturday, and then feeling like low to mid 90s into Sunday. Here's Hurricane Erin. It just was upgraded to a hurricane, packing winds of 75 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 90. You can see it's starting to spread out and strengthen as it's getting into a favorable environment. It'll pass north of the islands as we go into the weekend, then become a major hurricane, and then perhaps a Category 4 hurricane as it starts to turn to the north, and it'll be off the Carolina coast by Wednesday morning. And we're looking at all the models. This is the spaghetti plot showing where they think the storm will go, and as of now it's remaining out to sea, but we'll be seeing building waves, maybe some beach erosion, definitely some dangerous rip currents by the middle to end of next week. 85 in Georgetown, 85 in Laurel today, with 87 in Cambridge and Vienna, and looking at 85 in Princess Anne and Pocomoke City. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, good looking weekend, a little warmer Sunday, close to 90, and then lower 80s next week with some storms Wednesday as we track Erin off the coast with the indirect effects beginning as we head into Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Bob. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Happy Friday, Coast Life. You made it to the end of the week, but we can kick off your weekend with some Coast Life here at 4 o'clock. You don't want to miss if maybe your house needs a little bit of a facelift or driveway situation. Well, our friends at Liberty Concrete can be that little magic touch to make your curb appeal that much better. We've also got our pet of the week, a cute little kitten to introduce you to, and we're going to talk some foster opportunities with our friends at Brandywine Valley SPCA. And if you've been watching Coast TV for a while now, maybe you've been wondering, what does a day in the life of one of our reporters look like? Well, we've got that story for you too. All that fun and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Roadwork is set to begin next week on Carroll Street in Salisbury, and officials say drivers should plan for some delays. You can see that area we are talking about right now on your screen. Crews will work on a paving project from Route 13 to Circle Avenue. According to the city, work takes place August 18th with an expected completion date of August 22nd. Work will include milling, paving, and striping. Salisbury Mayor Rick Taylor says the project will result in 2 lanes in each direction, separate bike lanes, and safer pedestrian crossings. The city says it plans to finish before the Maryland Folk Festival on September 19th. People can have the opportunity to weigh in on the future of the Francis Scott Key Bridge replacement project, according to the Maryland Department of the Environment. A public hearing is taking place next week. Officials say the meeting will focus on a possible decision to change wetland permits, as well as gathering feedback from the community. This will all take place on August 20th in Baltimore. And coming up, from tie-dye and tunes to classic cars and comics, it's going to be a fun weekend. Stay tuned for your cool things to do. The weekend is rolling in with good vibes, groovy times, and a chance to make some memories. Coast TV's Christina DeRobertis has all of your cool things to do.
Break out the tie-dye and bell bottoms because it's Hippie Fest time in Milford. The Milford Museum bringing the groovy vibes back to the Causey Mansion this Saturday from 3 to 8. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy food trucks plus music from the Funsters. You can step into action for a great cause this weekend at the 3rd annual Shuck Cancer 5K Run/Walk. It's happening Sunday at Big Oyster Brewery in Lewis. If you're into comics, collectibles, and games, Blue Hen Comic Con lands at the Delaware State Fairgrounds Saturday and Sunday. The event benefits Make-A-Wish and Toys for Tots. Finally, car lovers, rev your engines. The Beachcombers Corvette Club of Southern Delaware is hosting their annual charity car show. It's Saturday morning in Georgetown, and it's open to all makes and models, with proceeds helping the Food Bank of Delaware. Head to CoastTV.com for event details, tickets, and more.
We're seeing hazy sunshine on the Gutter Helmet Cam. 80 in Ocean View, warming into the 80s, a little more comfortable today, and nice weather heading into the upcoming weekend. Make sure to call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. Sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico. Your 10-day forecast is next. For your Friday afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures warming into the mid-80s. A little cooler at the beaches and slightly lower humidity levels. And looking good this evening for your outdoor activities. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Weekend looking good. 83 Saturday, 89 Sunday. Then it's cooler into next week with lower 80s. Storm chances come in on Wednesday. And we're watching air and offshore for bigger waves, coastal flooding, and definitely some rip current issues beginning Wednesday and continuing the rest of the week.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. And for more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.